forced to call off.
Straddle. Yes.
Wino here, pocket sixes.
35.
Gonna make it 35. Playing a straddle pot. 5-5. 10. Surf here. Ace jack suited on the button.
Dennis.
No, I didn't give it.
No, not yet.
I was way behind.
I might 3-bet that hand. Actually, I probably would more often than not with the dead
Three players.
lines in the straddle in there. Get that straddle out of the hand. Cut off
Straddle.
I know.
line. Wow, look at this flop. Top pair, set of sixes for Wino. Nut flush draw here for Surf. And excuse, yeah, Surf is in the small blind, so definitely incentivized to 3-bet.
No, not leaving.
Thought he was on the button, but big flop here, guys. Set top pair, nut flush draw. We could see a lot of action here. Nothing like flopping a set of sixes here on a king-high board for Wino. And it looks like Dennis actually led out with king 10. So this is sort of going to make the hand a little bit unorthodox because Wino has slow played it and has just called. And Surf, if he chooses to go for a semi-bluff raise here, is going to sort of step in it, but he also just calls.
3 players.
Turns a 5.
Good thing you got this over
Check.
fast.
And is Dennis going to slow down with king 10? He is not.
175.
He's going to bet 175, and I got to tell you, this might save Surf. This could save Surf here because I imagine that Wino is going to raise, although she's not that deep. 760. If she calls, she's got less than a pot-sized bet left, but it looks like she is cutting out raising chips.
Raise it. 425.
And she's going to make it 425, which is basically committing herself.
We're not even there yet.
And, you know, if she had a hand like ace-king, Surf has just got a dry flush draw, which just means that he's just only drawing at hearts. And I do think that Dennis, the way that he played this, has saved Surf.
You know, we can't all be good.
Actually, I run good against you.
I just mean to leave him out, obviously. That's not running good.
And again, you know, if you have the nut flush draw like Surf does, you know that Wino isn't making a play with the nut
No,
flush
you didn't get
draw
the whole amount.
here.
So it's like
I got a good amount.
2,100.
It was a side pot.
Right, which is like 2 grand.
Okay. And there was
But
a
then the
main
main
pot.
was of
22
mine. I
So
only
11
started with 33.
So 11 plus 2,000.
No.
Is Surf going to call 425 cold
425.
here?
Cocktails.
I'm pretty sure there was like 180 too.
If he does. If he hits a 6 or a 5, he's no good. And let's see if Dennis can get away from this now.
Cocktail.
Just with king 10. Getting raised on the turn in a cold call.
What, 425? Yeah.
It is only 250 more for him to call.
I'm all in.
Wow, and he's going to move it all in.
Nothing.
And it looks like we're going to get it all in anyways. Dennis is drawing dead. And now that Surf has put in the money on the turn, I imagine he's going to put the money in
Did you get wine?
rolling to the river. Let's see. Obviously, Wino's all in. Has Surf done anything yet?
I got that.
It's like, that'd be really hard.
Makes the call. It looks like the river is a 5, and Wino's going to scoop
See how much you have.
almost a $3,000 pot here right off the bat with a full house.
5.
That was a big raise.
I had to get you guys off your hands. I had a marginal hand. He thought I had jacks.
So raise it up here to 30 from Jim. Interesting. DJ here with pocket 8s.
How else do you play
150?
jacks?
Raise it to 150.
No other way. It's folder all in.
And
What is it? 150?
150.
150 here from Wino with ace jack.
All right. I call.
What is the little thingy on
Well,
it?
I knew you were.
That's Aquaman. He talks to the fish.
I gotta get some.
Oh, that's mean. I like how he was been facing Dennis though.
Gonna play a little squeeze here.
Being a part-time comedian.
Jack 9 quickly folds. Action is back around here to DJ with pocket
He must make
eights.
no money.
I don't know. It hurts my
He
abs.
must do really good at poker.
Come on, professional
Oh,
hobbyist.
man, oh my God.
Professional hobbyist.
Probably gonna miss this
What
one.
am I doing
Wow,
with
you
my
made the
life?
10.
Heads up.
And Dennis is going to make the call here with 5-6 off. So Ace-Jack does get some action. Flops a Jack, and Dennis has got a gutter, and that's going to be good enough for an upfront all-in, and Wino going to make the insta-call. Dennis going to need to catch running diamonds or a 3. Well, there's one diamond. Does not come. And Kayla WinoPoker here with top 2 will take it down.
We had the world on the turn. Cocktail lady hates us.
Because whenever she
Really,
comes
can
in
you
here,
have
it takes
a
8
cocktail?
minutes for us to order.
Straddle guys. Raise 40.
WinoPoker here,
We're all
pocket
straddling?
queens.
Yeah.
I mean, at
Gonna
least
make
the
it
fun
40.
side of the
Surf
game.
and snowboard here.
Hey!
Big slick
I
suited.
went like this. So
Ace King
down
suited.
this. I went like this.
Shout out to
It's
my
really
boy
just like
Peter
one
O'Neill in the
big
YouTube
flat. I
chat.
straddled
He
every
does
time.
100.
our
You
Crush Live
are
Poker YouTube
a good
graphics. We put up 3 videos a week. Cut up a hand from our call-in podcast, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Gonna say hi to him. 40 here to 100 from Surf. Dennis gonna cold call the 3-bet. Looks like he reloaded for a full amount. And let's see if Wino's going to put in the 4-bet now that we've got basically some extra dead money out there from Dennis. Now, Surf does not usually 3-bet all that light,
Raise.
and she is going to 4-bet. She's going to make it 340.
This is really happening again. It was us 3 last time too, wasn't it?
It's happening.
The Three Musketeers, man.
Yeah.
I mean,
Right.
Surf's 100 blinds deep here with Ace-King suited. I'm
You're just
going to
annoying
get
the
it
fuck out
in.
of me.
Anyway, that's
I'm going to get it in here.
in the movie.
You know, if you want to look at the different qualities of Ace-King sort of as a frequency selector, you know, there's only 4 of the 16 combinations of Ace-King with Ace-King suited. I just can't, I can't fold here at 100 big blinds. It's just too good of a hand. He is going to call, and that is going to bring Dennis here
Deuce, deuce, deuce.
as well.
That's it. Easy game.
3 pairs.
No.
And there's the queen in the door. Wino with top set. Looks like the only heart. Surf's got a gutter to a jack here. Wino with just under a 30% C-bet. Surf sort of squeezed in between, getting about 4 to 1. Wino does not get the action, and she wins another one.
I don't.
Yeah.
Raise 50.
I mean, it's nothing to do with you.
And that's a big business.
Right.
That's a metric.
Yes, right.
DJ
So,
Melody
how much more
making it
youngambition.com
50 over the top of
does
Jim's
one
limp,
need?
and now Wino picks up another good hand here in the straddle with Ace-King. Limp and a raise, and I'm going to be 3-betting this all day long.
Ambition.
You
You
like
There she
100
goes.
South
80.
Park to promote it.
180,
It's Foxworth.
about 3.5 times.
Yeah, not
And this should go fold. Now, we did say DJ
Yes, it's
defend
a
9-7
boy.
of hearts earlier,
It's
but
like, it's
Yep,
normally
thanks,
so
bro.
cold in here, but
gets worse and worse here. 2
I
gapper.
find when I win hands, I get hot.
True. Talk dirty to me.
It really just goes through your blood.
Predict a
I also
super-
find when I
super
lose
long
hands, I
one.
get hot. It's a different kind of warm.
Flash.
Surf knows. It's like blood.
Wow, looks like DJ is cutting out 4-betting chips here.
Pissed off.
And again, this is at 150 big blinds because we're playing 5-5-10. Button versus straddle. And you could
And
he might be
let's
just, he is.
Re-raise.
He's going to 4-bet.
Can I have an 805, please?
4-bet bluff.
Actually, again, I apologize.
You know, you online guys can look at the math and you say, well, 150 big blinds, I'm going to get an ace-king in straddle versus button. But a lot of times in live poker, people just aren't capable of 4-bet bluffing all that much. And that's probably what is somewhat concerning here for Wino.
And Denise
Yeah, you gotta loosen it.
has his Starbucks.
And people don't necessarily get it in with the same type of range in straddled pots. Like, yeah, it's 150 big blinds deep, but it's a straddled pot.
Do you want another?
And it's more money. And that's the reality of live poker.
She wrote it.
Say that again?
Another bad thing.
Again, this come from a different bar?
Yeah, that's fine. Whatever. As long as I get it.
Thank you.
Access.
But she is getting 2-1 here also. Now, if she calls, you're dealing with a pot-sized bet left. But I think that you could certainly make a case for calling here as well
He's not sure that
and playing post accordingly. But she's just going to 5-bet all in. And DJ should have sized this enough where he can easily fold, and he does. And Wino wins another one.
Works for you.
Oh, okay, okay, no problem.
Keys to embrace.
Wino Poker, King
raise
Queen.
to 35.
Again, you can check out her Instagram, WinoPoker.
Sorry about
She posts quite a bit over there.
Chips go.
Most of them are smart.
Not naming any names.
And Colleen
Or pointing.
But she
posts a
took
lot of Instagram stories too.
a K plus
Colleen
another
Rosa.
Gave it to her.
14.
So 35 here from Wino. Jim going to defend the straddle. Dennis calling with 7-8 offsuit.
Skull.
And look at this here. King 3 deuce.
Cold.
Wino with the best of it. Jim has top pair though.
Thank you.
60.
Okay, thank you.
Different bar.
So Kayla bets 60
I'm so
here
glad they don't hook the mics here.
into 110.
Have you been like sputtering under your breath?
No, did I tell you the
And
one
Jim
time
is gonna
that
call.
I was playing
And
a game, I
again,
hooked the
if
mics
I'm
here, and I
Wino
went
Poker,
to
I'm
the
noticing that Jim is in the straddle, which means that he
tell
can
you
have
that
a
turn
lot
it
of
off.
kings that he would not otherwise
It
have
was
in
only
the
number
field.
one, guys, come on.
So King Queen becomes an easy 3 streets for me, I
Really
believe,
long one. It was like,
in this
I was
particular
really-
configuration.
Dehydrated.
Turn is a 5. There's front door spades out there too.
I may have.
You can see that Jim has picked up a gut shot to a 4. And against a lot of typical players, I'm just
I'm
going
like
to
giving myself
continue to
motivation.
bet for value. I'm not going to worry about
Big
getting
boy.
blown off my hand.
You've been picked on your
with
whole
some
life.
sort of
Just saying.
semi-bluff. She bets 150 now.
Your parents do love you.
Yeah, right?
You are not a failure.
And he snap calls, so I'm feeling really good. Let's see if Wino goes for 3 streets on a clean run out. The river's a 10.
Size doesn't matter.
Let's see her put in the 3rd barrel here. I'm rooting for her. Would Jim check King 10 at the end? I don't think
it's
so.
really
I think this is an
interesting, speaking of
easy
size.
3 streets here.
Go on.
I'm probably going to bet 250 to 300.
Check.
No, no.
All the
Check,
sketches
check.
have small phalluses. And the reason
And
why that was considered more intelligent.
She does win it again, but again, the wide nature of Jim's pre-flop range
Because
out of the
it's
straddle, I
phallus
think,
was
dictates
considered,
3
like,
streets there.
stupid. Yeah.
Colleen's going to open here to 25 with ace-5 of spades. Jerry Garcia.
Why?
Jerry Garcia's handprint for some of you youngins out there.
5 chips of whatever color assortment you'd prefer.
He, of course, was the lead singer in the Grateful Dead.
That is how I perceive the color as well.
Letters in a
I'm sure my boy Pete
Yes.
O'Neill has never heard of
One.
Jerry Garcia.
Oh.
Pocket jacks here for Wino. Boy, she is certainly running hot.
Who raised?
I look.
Of course I
And
Check
she's going to
by-
3-bet.
I was like, dude,
out of the
no,
big
God.
blinds.
I look.
I respect your gamble.
I look. I mean, I do have gamble, but
You
I
play,
remember I looked for 75. I just don't look for 20 and 40 or 50.
you play poker, I play gamble. Classic Asians.
Wait a minute.
heads up.
Nobody called. But the
So-
prize is 425.
I don't think that's heads up.
Gosh, dealer, tip yourself 5. You earned it.
4-way action here.
Just take it from the
Wino
pot.
gets
take it
action
from the pot. No,
from
When did you come back, man?
Colleen, Dennis,
9,
and
3.
DJ.
What did you even get
Why the
here?
fuck
0%.
8-7-4. She does have the best hand.
Does the biggest winner of the game get a free young ambition hoodie?
Ma, the meatball.
DJ with top
None
pair,
trophy,
Dennis with a
no.
gut shot, Colleen with a gut shot and a backdoor spade draw. You can see that Wino's got 50% equity here.
It literally stuns you as if it was a fucking.
See what
taser.
kind of
No,
sizing
you're in taste.
Kayla's
You
going
know
to
what?
use
So I
here
can't
on the
truly say
flop.
I know what the nunchucks
Yeah.
are like a taser. No,
Being
but I've been
tased kind of
nunchucked.
sucks. Yeah.
I've been nunchucked.
I'm gonna venture to say tased.
When did you
worse.
get tased?
200 here, pretty big
19.
sizing.
99.
well, about half the size of the pot. Excuse me. 200 into 425.
Yeah, you know, everybody says you need to try everything once. Don't get tased once.
No, you don't want to do it. It
No,
sucks. Yeah,
suck
no,
bad, just
absolutely.
as suspected, huh?
Yeah, no, it's bad. Yeah.
I think I might try mace.
Colleen's gonna
Might
muck.
be Mace too.
Try Mace this weekend.
Yeah, I'm
And
trying
now
mace this weekend.
the action's over to
Yeah,
DJ
maybe
with
Mace
top
and
pair
Taser,
here.
I'll tell you that
Millennials are
much.
like snorting
Yeah.
condoms and pulling
Tasting
them
sounds
out.
like fun.
Yeah, that's kind of weird shit.
Yeah, I'd
I
rather
don't
just
know,
get
whatever.
mace or tased
Yeah,
or something than
absolutely.
eat a Tide Pod.
Yeah.
Back in my day. Mace
And he will make the call. And the question that I have is that if a 5 or 6 comes, will DJ start turning his hand into a bluff? Because I would make this call if I were to turn some hands into a bluff.
Are you really drinking
The turn's a
fucking green
10.
tea?
That
Is there
gives
vodka in
DJ
it?
open-ended now. 5-6 was
From
already
this country?
there.
No.
Fired, bro.
What country?
Are you old
America.
enough to drink?
I feel like you're from Britain.
No.
No? From here?
Massachusetts.
Fuck.
He doesn't have an accent.
Bad read. I don't know. Yeah, I didn't hear the accent, but
Spell
I didn't hear
Massachusetts.
M-I-S-S-I-S-S-I-T-T-I. Yes, I am. Fucking sick read. Was
Well,
it the
good
Knicks
read of the
stat?
night.
Yeah.
I didn't see the Knicks
That
stat.
might
You
have
haven't
given it
covered
away.
that up yet? Check.
Checks.
You know they're from New York and they have a Knicks, and nobody from
And
New
now,
York
if
is
you're
Knicks.
DJ with only 705, I think I might just take my equity and check behind. Well, now he moves all in.
Call.
See, I don't think you're going to get her off an overpair, and you can tell that he knows that he's beat. The river's an ace, and
Damn, ace-8.
Wow, that ace would have
Would've
scared
got
the
there.
fuck out of me.
I think
if I
that's a
jacked.
pretty good example
You are undefeated tonight.
of something that I talk about
What the fuck are you doing?
over at Crush Live Poker as we
Oh,
see
the chat's
Mad
going
Hatter
on.
say, Dennis, run, man, you're on tilt, take a break in the YouTube chat.
Yeah.
If you make a bet
This is a bunch of bullshit.
and you are upset and you know you're beat when
Yeah,
you're
you need to
called,
color up or something.
then
Just
No,
get
no
that
color up
probably
game.
done
Fuck
something
that.
wrong. Now, obviously, you
Fuck
can
the
make that bet with a draw as a semi-bluff,
yellows.
but
Of you or with you?
if she's not going to fold jacks there and you have
Stack
an
it pretty, or
8,
do you want it all fucked up?
it's sort of too in between to make that bet, I feel like.
You guys want, you want the dealer?
Hit him with the
You
Tune in
Shot.
weekdays.
live at the bike.
6 to 10. Or some other number.
Raise. 35.
Gosh, you're getting feisty.
I just get
You
good
and
hands
that little
all the
Lego
time.
man.
Little Lego man. Aquaman has
Crick City going to raise it up here. Loose open here from up front under the gun +1 to
Nice.
35. Jim's got
Oh, he
pocket
talks to the
sevens.
fish.
He's going
This
to
is the only
call.
time he's relevant.
Okay.
He found his calling. You know, he was like, I'm the worst superhero
I don't
ever.
know about you,
That's a good
but
answer.
Aquaman
Yeah,
in the
Dude, Aquaman
I'm
sucks
glad you weren't
as a
just like,
superhero.
I love Aquaman.
Yeah, like what, dude, all he ever did in the comic was like he just waves from the ocean after they saved the day. Like they save everything. He's like, all right, I was here just in case.
But Aquaman in Justice League was rather hot.
Oh, was he?
And Wino here, king queen off in the small
You
blind.
heard Channing Tatum single, ladies?
You know, I think that this hand can easily be
She had the
called
crank
or
on. Oh my
folded.
God,
She
yeah.
makes the
So
call.
good.
Chance.
Took a lot, I'm not gonna lie.
God, I've
I
been
would
single
sort
for
of
2 years for him.
Default to having kind of suited hands
Channing Tatum?
when deep from out of position for a 3-bet. Colleen also makes the call.
35?
I think his wife is probably.
And
hot.
looks like Surf is going to come in here as well. Shout out to Israeli Ron in the live chat and Rick
They're just separate.
in bar style.
Oh.
Oh.
Marvel's
In,
not.
in the
means
Twitch
Saying
chat.
there's a chance.
King 9-4 with a couple of hearts.
No
So
chat. I'm still not
Kayla,
allowed to.
WinoPoker's got the best
Oh,
hands.
everybody's just dreaming right
Crick
now.
City not going to do a crazy
Oh, in the
C
very
bet on this
beginning.
board.
Oh,
I got sent a screenshot, so she's
And
a
this
lesbian,
probably
right?
should get checked through
No,
here.
it's just kind of like flannel.
Check the
And
rubber.
it does.
Call yourself a lesbian all the time.
I pretend.
Oh, the turn is a 7. What an action card. Jim turns a set.
When I say
Colleen's
five.
got the nut flush draw.
Pictures of my
What
mom.
a turn. Obviously, if I'm Wino, I'm betting.
55.
Colleen with ace-6 of clubs is going to at least call. And Jim has turned a set of 7s on a non-heart turn.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
There's the call
I
from
can't believe it's
Colleen.
illegal. I don't understand it. I
Well,
still,
no, I mean, I believe it's illegal.
Surf gonna
but
fold.
arrested
Obviously,
for
Crick City
marijuana.
gonna fold. Let's
Like,
see
they
if
don't
Jim's
have
gonna
other
bump
things
this
to
one
do.
up here.
right?
No, they do.
Like,
You know, like cocaine. Like,
they
isn't
can't
that
just,
big out there?
is it even bad to drive around smoking blunts every day? Like, it's not really. I'm practicing.
I mean, driving in the sun, yeah.
Do it,
Practicing
Jim.
until I'm
Get way better.
35, you know, they could trust me.
So what are you doing?
Channel Jerry
I'm on
Garcia.
vacation for a little bit.
You're
Get
on
some money in
vacation,
that pot.
but you live in a place that people go to vacation.
There it is.
I do. It's weird, right? When I go on
Son
vacation,
of a
people
bitch.
go to my backyard.
You son of a bitch.
230. Now,
Nah,
if you're Wino, you got an easy fold here.
Miami?
I think you got a pretty easy fold. Now, obviously, I can see the cards, but Jim hasn't really done anything out of line. And yeah, it looks kind of strange, but he could have like a hand like 9-7. He could have turned a set of sevens. But if I'm Colleen, I am absolutely going to call here.
That's my drum set.
And if I make clubs, I am going to bomb the river.
But it still sucks.
I'm not going to check the river and let him check behind.
She's like crying in the basement.
I think Wino's got a pretty easy
Like
fold
a
with
Shark
king
Week,
queen.
she's like, I'm done. See you.
I don't even like
I know Wino feels like she
So
might
you
have
look-
gotten
you're
pushed
probably
around and
gonna-
she
Yeah,
called
I'm
Dennis with the queen
I'm
9.
Nice, I'll see you.
So that could
You are
still
playing?
sort of
Yeah,
be
Yeah, I'm gonna play the 30.
kind of going around in her head a little bit
Yeah,
here.
yeah. I'm going with
It's
a
like
bunch of friends.
50 championship or some shit.
I'll get your number after this.
She does make the right fold.
Colleen.
So this flop.
She planned that out.
It was
She
just
planned that out.
I'm giving
It
people
looked
way
just
too
like
much
on the
credit.
gun.
That's my
Anyone calls
problem.
it 35.
I'm watching these big games and then I play this
Right.
5-5 shit.
Same.
The under the gun live
Oh,
raises
God.
the queen off.
Oh, I get
Some
people.
right
I
Right.
love it now.
That's
see?
the nuts.
Oh, I knew you weren't 70.
Wino poker here with two
Couldn't do
tens.
No aces. I don't know how to limp aces there.
Oh, the
Oh,
angry
you
three.
guys, I'm so
Yeah,
sorry.
for sure.
I'm so sorry, but I'm not going to do it again.
And she's going to
I did
squeeze
not
it up
find
here
out.
over Crick City to
I didn't know you
155.
were gonna
He
win
just
over
snap folds ace 8. Jim's got ace 8 of diamonds as well, or ace 8 suited as well.
there. I should have a good in there. Only not.
More than you.
I should never have a good in there.
$500.
1 million. You're only slightly covered.
You guys want?
I can't do
Got
that. with
aces,
aces.
I'm like,
Nobody
ah.
folds?
I don't have
table
the balls
change.
to do that with aces.
It's so dumb to do with aces.
But also
As a bluff, though?
unsuspecting.
Yeah, I
Juicy.
know it works.
Don't
Okay.
fold.
Sure
Six
works.
five.
You only
Raise to
expected
25?
in like a 1-1
Oh, it's a bomb pot.
Wendy here
Oh,
with
yeah,
pocket
one.
9.
pot.
Bomb pot?
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
You call, I call.
Of course we're doing a bomb pot.
Palm pot.
Guards.
Palm pot.
Palm pot. Palm pilot.
Don't look at me.
It's a bomb pot.
What?
Don't fold.
Oh, it's a bomb pot?
Don't look at that.
Pocket 9s, ace king, bomb pot
Oh,
here
ace
once
nine.
again. So a couple of nice
friend
ones.
texted-
Shitty river.
Yeah, ace 9.
My friend
Couple
said-
queen
I told you, I
sixes.
said it was a
Yeah,
shitty
when you
river.
said that, I was like, that'd be ace 9.
Wow.
I figured you had like
Yeah, that
9-10 or
was huge.
something.
Ace 9.
Did everybody call?
Huh?
What did you
Yeah, I thought
I 7-9.
Fuck, why do I fall?
I mean, I go all the way. With the ace on the turn, it doesn't affect me. I go all the way.
So here we go, 225 bomb pot.
Anything but the
Oh
ace.
god,
No,
everybody's
no, no.
hoping for a deuce.
King, deuce, deuce. No one has a deuce. Wino poker here with ace king. Also has the king of hearts in her hand. Has an absolute hammer lock on the hand.
Your boy don't got no deuce.
7 is good.
She's going to bet 100 here.
I have a feeling 7 deuce is probably good.
And Dennis in seat 5 is just raising with pure air. With queen 6, he's going to make it
Terrible, This
300.
fucking bomb pot bullshit. Like,
Pure
this bullshit.
air.
You know?
And she's going to call. Well, this is going to be interesting. This could be a real game of chicken here if Dennis continues to try to fire. Turns an 8.
Palm pot.
If you bet here, you look really strong.
Is he going to run? Whoa, he doesn't. I was going to say, I thought that he was just going to run like a huge bluff.
Oh, this hand took a turn.
River's an 8, and I think that she thinks that he has a king. And she's just going to bet real tiny.
Good time
She
for
bets
that.
200 here. His hand does not play. The king plays. And is he going to call the chop? Or is... Oh, he raises to 600. Boy, this is a weird one. This is a weird one because is he checking back a deuce? Is he checking back a deuce on the turn
Thanks for a needle.
to raise the river? And is he even raising a deuce on the river here? I mean, this is just a pure kind of random bluff. It is a bomb pot.
I hate bomb pots.
She's getting 4 to
I
1.
hated that first one, too.
What do you think I have?
I enjoyed it first.
A king? I mean, there's not much to have if you keep betting. It's either you have a king or a deuce. Deuce, you're good. King. I don't know.
Oh, gosh. You think I have a king?
No, I'm just saying. You asked me what do you think I have, and I said you could have a king or a deuce. You don't have an 8. Let's just throw that out there.
Are you singing over there?
Well, John Lennon, you guys are
I
too young.
can't fold this, dude.
Then don't fold.
My life.
I think you're the only one that can say. Come on.
How sick would
I
it be
mean,
if she
yeah.
raised her?
Right? I don't think I can fold all in.
All this and then she raised it.
It's not
One
bad, dude.
out of 5 times. Are you good here? Getting 4 to 1. 20% of the time. It would appear that you just have a bluff catcher. She
Yeah,
does
thank
make the
God.
correct call.
I'm
Not
like,
checking
are
back.
you
I'm just kidding. I'm
serious?
just kidding.
Wow, don't do it.
Oh!
And the thing that I would say about that hand
I
is
actually would
that
have been on real tilt if he would have been like, I'm just kidding.
is Dennis going to raise a deuce on such a dry board? And not only that, but you have to look at the 2 actions.
No,
Actually, 3
no,
actions.
I'd rather
Is he
have
going to raise a
something
deuce
thank
on
you
such a
for
dry
sure.
board?
Like a 2?
Is he going to check back a
That would've been a
deuce?
little more comfy.
And then is he going to raise the river with a deuce when it's not the top full house? Are those 3 things in line? Sort of like a philosophy what if conditional problem in college, if anyone took
That's why I
those
said
types
we
of
would
philosophy
have a
classes.
yeah, man.
You know, you only need to be good 20% of the time, so
We would have a
I do like the call there, even though I can see the cards by Kayla in seat 1.